The GoodReads Choice Awards have come out. Let's go check them out and react. I have no clue really what could be in it this year because I've not been following many new releases, but let's go. Okay, we are at my desk. Let's look at these GoodReads Choice Awards. I'm very excited to see what there is. I'm particularly interested in the romantasy and horror section, so let's start. Let's just go through them all. A lot of these I probably haven't read, especially in the fiction. So Cursed Daughters is on my radar because I really loved My Sister's Serial Killer by this author. What else have we got? This World Dark Shore, I've seen a few things about. It is on my peripheral. I really want to read some Frederick Backman, but I've not read any of them yet. And I think, is this one the second one or not? I don't know. And as expected, I've not really heard of any of the others, but that is exactly what I expected for the fiction section. Historical fiction, I imagine I won't have heard many unless they're kind of cross-genred with something else. I've heard of Atmosphere, a lot of people talking about that. It does sound interesting. I've only read one Taylor Jenkins read. It didn't really do it for me, so I've never bothered to pick up anything else. The Hounding. Did I see Jade read this recently? Or I feel like I've seen someone read that recently. Was it Meg? I'm going to have a look. Yeah, and as expected, I've not read any and I don't really know any. Now, mystery thriller really annoys me. It should be separate ones. I really agree with Leandra. She's made her own version of what should be the mystery nominees, because mystery and thriller are different and different readers as well, so I feel like they shouldn't be mixed together. Obviously Richard Osman, I have this on my list to read. I've only read the first one and I want to reread the first one before I continue. I have no interest in ever reading Freida McFadden. John Mars, I've really enjoyed a lot of his books, but mostly just the books that are set in the like the Black Mirror-esque universe, like The One, I can't remember what the rest are called now. Dan Brown, I am currently going through a reread of this series, so I'm not at this point, I'm on book 3, so yeah. This one is a sequel. I've not read the original. I have read this one actually. It was okay. You know. And then I want to read Famous Last Words. I want to read Ghostwriter. I want to read Vera Wong. And obviously I have no interest in Freida McFadden. Karen Slaughter. I'm in an R about whether I want to read this author, but I don't know. Freida McFadden has 3 books in here. That's crazy. But yeah, having Vera Wong and this Richard Osman book, they're cutesy cozy mysteries. They shouldn't be mixed in with some that are, I don't know, like Karen Slaughter. I don't know what this is about, but this is a mystery as well, but it's this thrilling mystery. I just feel like they're completely different vibes. I don't know. Interesting. Romance, I've probably not read any from romance. I probably have a few on my TBR. Oh yeah, I have read some. Oh yeah. So Brianne Weaver has 2. So the first of the Taurus season, first of the Seasons of Carnage trilogy, and then this one. Is this the final? Is this a trilogy? Yeah. I want to read this series. I would be interested in this series. I've not read Emily Henry, not read this Emily Henry. I am making my way through this series. I have read these two. Really liked Deep End. Problematic Summer Romance wasn't my favourite at all. First Time Caller I kind of want to read. I have Kennedy Ryan on my peripheral of someone that I should definitely check out. I'm not really that interested in that. It just, I don't know. For some reason, the cover makes me think of Taylor Jenkins Reid. That's a cutesy cover. Abby Jimenez, I'm not overly interested in. I've got the other series by Elsie Silver, whatever the other one is, Reckless, whatever that series is. But yeah, so I have read 2 on here. That's cool. I would have assumed there was none. What's this one? Oh, a fake dating sports romance. I could get on board with that possibly. Right, Romancy. This is the one that one of the ones I'm looking forward to. Onyx Storm. Yeah, of course I forgot that would have been in this. Enchantra. I have Phantasma on my TBR for this month, so hopefully I'll get to that. Alchemized, of course, but I thought, based on reviews, that this was less a romantasy and more like the feeling I got from this and like people's reviews was that it was kind of like how, I'm not comparing the 2 books, but kind of like how people say Poppy War is a romantasy, but it's not at all. Like, I got the impression that Alchemized is more like a dark fantasy with romance elements. I've not read it, obviously. Rose in Chains, another fan fiction that's been redone. This is one I'm intrigued by, Our Vicious Oath, so I'm definitely intrigued by that. Immortal is another one I'm intrigued by. Has this author, I've either read from this author before or I've got it on my TBR. Yeah, Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I really need to pick that up. It's literally physically on my shelves. I haven't heard of this one. This I have on my shelves. I'm very excited to get to. This is another fan fiction that came out. So this one, and this one. I have the first one on my Romantasy Bingo, which I don't believe has come out yet, but so I possibly will be reading the second one, depending on how much I like the first one. Diabound. I'm ignorant about this one. I think primarily because of the size of it, but this is, I think it's got, like trials and there's wolves in it. I have zero interest in reading this. I don't want to dox people, but until a author comes out and I know that it's a real life person, I'm going to avoid this on the assumption that it's possibly AI written. I literally just had this book come in on my Libby app as an audio. I enjoyed the first 2 more than I thought. The first one, I kind of read it and was expecting to hate it, I'm not gonna lie, based on reviews, but it was quite entertaining. The second one was somewhat entertaining, so I will give this a try. Mate is on my shelves. I've not picked it up yet. I enjoyed Brides though. This one, Gods and Monsters, I think I've got the first one on my TBR literally for this month. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different series. I've read Book of Azrael. I really enjoyed it. I want to read the rest of the series, but I will want to reread Book of Azrael, I think, because it's been so long. Rebecca Ross. Yeah, she is on my peripheral. I've not read. Is it The Divine Rivals? Is that by Rebecca Ross? I've not read that series. Yeah, Divine Rivals. I've not read that, but I am intrigued. I need to read book 2 and then book 3 of this, but yeah. But I do enjoy Chrissa Broadbent's writing. This is one that I've seen a lot about. I could give it a try, definitely. I absolutely loved this book, and this one looks cozy. I've not read it. So I've read one, and the rest are just like either books I have or I'm not interested in on my peripheral. I've always contemplated doing the like reading all the long list or whatever, but things like romantasy and fantasy is a lot of them are sequels, and if you're not up to date, then that's not just 20 books, that could come up to like 30 plus books. Let's look at fantasy. I've got a feeling I've not read a lot of these either. I've not really kept up to date with new release. Is The Strength of the Few even out? I know it comes out this month, but I didn't think it was out yet. The 11th, it literally came out yesterday. How can this be on the list? Surely the list was put together before this even came out. I'm so confused. Like, what are the rules on this? I've read Catabasis. I really loved it. I have not read any Brandon Sanderson yet. This is one I want to get to so soon. Hemlock and Silver is one I'm hoping to get to very soon. Another one I'm interested in. Another one I'm interested in. I need to read the first book. I'm hoping to get to the first book soon. Sirens by Amelia Hart. Oh yeah, this I'm interested in as well. So this is more just a list of books I'm interested in. Another one I want to read. This is on my shelves. I want to read it. This one I haven't heard of. And this one I haven't heard of. I don't really keep up to date with like Joe Hill or Stephen King, obviously. And if Stephen King's had a book out, then he will be the winner of the horror section. So I tend to just kind of ignore him in the horror section. I've not heard of this at all. Godfather Meets the Magicians. Okay, sounds interesting. Alexi Harrow, I read something, The Secret of Ravens? No, what is it called? The Starling House. I read Starling House by this author. They have quite a lot of books out actually. So I could be interested. A Lady Night. I am interested then. Resistance of Witches. I've not heard of this, but I do enjoy historical fantasy. World War II though. Thief of Night. This is the second. Oh, is this that book? Yeah, Book of Night. I've got Book of Night on my shelves. I've not read it yet. Watermoon. I've been umming and ahhing about. This one I've not heard of at all. Oh, I might have heard of it actually, because it's a sapphic dark romance. Yes, I've heard of it like on the peripheral of my mind. This one I'm umming and ahhing about. This is Sapphic Vampires, and this one I want to read ASAP. So I think I have an audio ALC of this, so I should get to that soon. Wait, so have I read any? I've read Catabasis. That's really poor for me. But yeah, in the fantasy section, that's quite poor for me. But I have not been reading a lot of new release fantasy. I am aware of that. Sci-fi are always books I want to read and never get round to. I don't know why, because when I read sci-fi, I tend to enjoy it. I've not heard of that, but I love that name. Once and Future Me, not heard of, but I love that cover. Not heard of, but I love that cover. Oh wow, love that cover. Not heard of. It kind of looks a bit like the cover, the upcoming cover for The Caretaker by Marcus Cleaver, the author of We Used to Live Here. I've not heard of this one. This is a gorgeous cover. I don't think I've heard of it though. This I was intrigued by, but something happened with the author which put me off. I can't remember. I'm going to have to look into that. Not heard of this one. I mean, this makes sense because I don't really follow a lot of sci-fi stuff. Sci-fi tends to be something I just pick up on a whim. Not heard of. This one I feel like I've seen someone read this recently. I've definitely seen someone vlog reading this recently. I can't remember who. Not heard of this. This one I'm quite interested in. I saw Kayla read it, or Gabby, and or both. This one is on my TBR. I want to read the bindery books. This one I've not heard of. That cover, I would assume it was general fiction. I've not heard of that, but that cover looks good. Not heard of that one. I do want to read this. I'm slowly making my way through all of his books. He's got a lot of books, and I found him after he'd already had a lot of books out. And again, not heard of, but I really enjoyed that. It kind of looks like the cover of the Immaculate Conception. Right, horror. This is the one. Let's see if we're going to go really well for me. And I've read quite a few of them. I've not read any. I've read a few releases from this year. I don't think enough. I don't think I'll have read many. On my TBR. I did read that. I liked it. On my TBR. And that's the cover I was talking about. Read this, loved it. On my TBR. Stephen King, as I said, I tend to ignore him. Never heard of this one. Interesting. On my TBR. I've only just recently read Bunny. On my immediate TBR. Loved that. On my TBR, I really loved this one. On my TBR, not heard of this, but I've only read like one Darcy Coates, and I've only just started like getting into Darcy Coates. On my TBR. Wow. And I was hoping I might have done well in this. I've read three. Blood on Her Tongue, Buffalo Hunter, and Bat Eater. What do I think we'll get through? Obviously, it's Stephen King. I've heard interesting things about this one. I think Bat Eater. I think Stephen Graham Jones. I think possibly Chuck Tingle will go through to the shortlist. Hungerstone possibly. Grady Hendrix. Maybe this one. I don't know how many that is. Okay, let's look at debut novel then. Oh, I've read that. I've loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like, oh, pick this up if you can. I've not heard of this one. I have heard of this one. Emily St. James. Wait, oh, it's not Emily St. James Mandel though, or Emily, what? Emily James Mandel, isn't it? What's her name? The one that did Station 11. No, that was that one that I saw before. I like that cover. I've not heard of it again. I've discussed. That cover does not scream to me. Neither does that one. Oh, this one I would be interested in looking at what it's about. Ghost, Civil War. As expected, yeah. Oh, I'm pleased to see that here then. Oh, the audiobook category. This category is so stupid. I'm so against this category. I'm just, look at that. Yeah, I don't think I've listened to any of these. It's such an idiotic category. Right, young adult fantasy sci-fi. I was thinking I might have read a few of these. No, I've not read this series yet, but I really want to. I've not read this yet. I really want to. I've not heard of this one. Could be interested. This one I want to read. This one I have the series on my TBR. This one I want to read. This one I read and loved. I've not heard of this. I have heard of this one, possibly. Yeah, interested. Was not aware of this, but interested based on the author. Interested in this one. This one's on my TBR. I do want to read this. It's in my romancy bingo. This one I hadn't heard of. Shannon Lee. I like when they're duologies. Is this like their first novel? I need to read the series, really. I do have this book though. This one I need to read the series. I've not heard of this, but this is the author of The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and I really enjoyed that book, so I would be interested. I didn't know they had another book out. Yeah, I'm interested in this one. I don't think I'm interested in this series. Inspired by Beauty and the Beast. I hadn't heard of this, but I'm interested based on that. I've read this, I really enjoyed it actually. This is like, if you enjoyed, what's that series called? The Selection series, you'd probably enjoy this. And this one I'm very interested in. Okay. Young adult fiction. I've not heard of that one. I've not heard of that one. That does sound interesting. I have this on my shelf. I got a phone call, so if anything's moved, sorry about that. The Grandest Game. Is this set in like the world of the Inheritance game? That's by this author, isn't it? This is from that Dragons and Dungeons and Drama series. Yes, I do wanna read this. I've not heard of this. Looks like a fun cover. Not heard of that. This I recently read and loved. Absolutely loved. Yeah, no, I've not read the first one of that. Tia Williams. Why does that name ring a bell? Oh, 7 Days in June. I wonder. I've not read anything by this author yet. Yes, I was interested in that one when I heard about it. This is from that You've Reached Sam. Yeah, I've not read You've Reached Sam. I am interested in this. I am interested in this. Yeah, this about a girl who gets sent to church camp and decides to like do all the sins or something. That sounds fun. I've not heard of this one. Lynn Painter. I've read something by this author. It was like a yellow book cover. But it was an adult romance. Love Wager, that's the one I've read. Okay. Usually authors go from YA to adult, not the other way around. I've read this recently and I really enjoyed it. I am interested in this. I am interested in this, and I have this on my shelf and I am interested. Non-fiction I've probably read none. Yeah, none of them. What's this? Tragedy, true crime. And memoir, I've probably read no memoirs. No. I don't even know why I'm looking because I have read no memoirs. History and biography, probably read none. Yet again. I am interested in this though. How to Kill a Witch. Interesting. So there we are. Interesting mix. Not overwhelmed with the options. And I think just the same as I say every year, mystery and thriller need to be separated. This audiobook one just needs to go. That's such a stupid category. And horror, just, I mean, they need to get rid of Stephen King so that other people can have a chance. But at the end of the day, GoodReads is just a popularity contest. It doesn't mean a great deal. People can vote without reading the book. So yeah. Am I going to do a read in any of these sections? No. No, not at all. None of them. I mean, obviously the horror section intrigues me, but no, we're not going to do that this year. Like, I could be inclined to do this one, but the problem is so many of them are sequels, so if you're not up to date on them, it's just a lot to read, you know. But yeah, we'll see. What do you think of these? Is there any categories that you think they got right? Any categories that you think are missing? A blindingly obvious book? Let me know. Let me know what you're going to be voting for in any of these categories, what your general thoughts are. I'm underwhelmed, let's say underwhelmed, but that is to be expected. So yeah, thank you for joining me today, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye friends.